Yo, what is up guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. So, when I'm at work, my manager said, hey, go on your 10-minute break. I clock up for my 10-minute break. I grab my phone. I open up the Reddit app. And as I'm browsing the League of Legends Reddit, I come across this, which actually shouldn't be shocking considering how 100 Thieves and Fnatic finished the LCS and the LEC 2021 Spring Split. 100 Thieves finished 4th. To be fair, that was kind of predicted for their roster, but the games we actually saw the roster play was pretty bad considering how their season ended. Fnatic, now in my own LEC 2021 Spring Split Power Rankings, I actually had Fnatic in 2nd place because I actually thought this roster was actually going to be pretty good. But that didn't end up happening. You know, as you guys already know, Fnatic have a lot of fans and they want Fnatic to do well, as well as the org themselves. Fnatic finished 5th place. They got knocked out by Schalke, but to be fair, Schalke still was a really powerful team. They almost actually beat G2 Esports in a best of 5 until obviously they had that Seraphine composition in game 5 to really pull out the win. Now, this is a rumor as I read this. Fnatic mid laner Nisky in talks with 100 Thieves. I click this link. It brings me to the Esporian, which has broken credible league news in the past during various off seasons pertaining to LCS and LEC when it comes to Turkish players. Now, they broke the news that Closer was obviously going to Golden Guardians when he did, and you guys already know they've been really credible when breaking news with the Turkish players, obviously, you know, going between, you know, LEC and the LCS. Now, as it says, according to information from our sources, hashtag LCS Team 100 Thieves is dealing with Nisky, Fnatic's mid laner. The rumors we have received are that the parties are at the beginning of the talks now. So let's talk from two different standpoints. Let's talk from 100 Thieves first, since they're obviously the less important team, because let's be honest here, Fnatic are definitely the better org and better team overall, and more people are probably going to be interested where Fnatic end up than 100 Thieves. Let's just say that for the sake of this video, right? So 100 Thieves going into this LCS 2021 Spring Split, they had a pretty good showing in the lock-in tournament. They were beaten by Cloud9 in a reverse sweep fashion. Later on, they are still pretty solid. Then they start showing a lot of issues mid-game drafting. They became super predictable. They put in Ryoma over Demonte. They end up still not looking that good. They end up actually doing well in the TSM series they played in the LCS 2021 mid-season showdown. I think it was the round 2. Yeah, and then they actually look like they're in positions to win games, throw them all. TSM end up beating them, and then you see the interview I think Travis had out where, you know, Papa Smithy talked about, we don't know what our mid-lane situation is going to look like, so this makes sense because 100 Thieves definitely had a finish they were not predicting for when they went into the LCS 2021 Spring Split. I even said, you know, when you're making these predictions based around this Golden Guardians roster that ended up becoming 100 Thieves, you have to kind of factor in, like, even if you watch traditional sports, you have to kind of consider that certain teams peak at various moments and then do really well. I think a lot of people were still overrating their performances last year in the LCS 2020 Summer Split Playoffs where they almost knocked out TSM completely. I mean, yes, they did play well, but you have to kind of factor this in. Did they just peak at that moment, or did they just have a good, really nice read on the meta? Then you have Fnatic. So Fnatic constantly have been getting beat by G2 Esports. They got 3-0'd by G2 last year in the LEC 2020 Spring Split and Summer Split Finals. You go into the LEC 2021, you know, Spring Split. I actually had them at 2nd place. I really still think this roster has some pretty good players. But then here comes Fnatic's issues, which are a ton of them. Bwipo and Hylissang definitely are on the same page when it comes to place, but then it's like Nisky self-made and upset art. It seems to me that the players have just agreed to play League of Legends, and any game plans are completely thrown out the window. They bring in Yamato Cannon as a head coach, so you're looking at all the nice little pieces here. I personally think Nisky is an upgrade over Nemesis, as I said before, and I still think that now. I think that Nisky does contribute a lot. I think he actually was a pretty solid mid laner for the LEC 2021 Spring Split, but you have to kind of factor in the player Nisky is. Nisky is more of a enabler player that can enable your stronger players on your team. Kind of like Doinby, as people like to say that, right? But if you have a Doinby level player for specific teams, it's not going to work because, let's be honest here, when Fnatic did not win titles, which were obviously, we're counting a few of the mid laners that did not win titles, so the only mid laners for Fnatic that have not won titles is Nemesis and Nisky. Looking at it right now, if this actually happens where he goes to 100 Thieves, right? So, Nemesis and Nisky are role-playing mid laners. When Fnatic won consistently as they did, they had carry mid laners back in the past. Caps, Febivin, Xpeke, right? So you have to look at that and go, okay, so these other teams have carry mid laners. We need a hard carry mid laner. Selfmade is also pure carry, but Selfmade would play to a carry mid laner if that was the case he was given. I don't personally agree with switching out Nisky. I do think he actually did play pretty well. You have these like dumb Nemesis fanboys going, oh yeah, bring back Nemesis. No, don't do that. He definitely caused his own issues in Fnatic with how he played the game. But when you're looking at the Fnatic roster as a whole, I think you just kind of need a whole rebrand. I'm calling it right now. They're going to do an entire restructure of their League of Legends team come after the 2021 World Championship. It happens with a lot of bigger orgs when they want to just take a new direction after having the same direction for a very long time. I know there's a lot of fans in love with Bwipo and Hylissang and all these other guys. People, listen to me. That's just YouTube content. You need to judge them for their actual League of Legends gameplay. I'm not saying go on like social medias and like be mean to them and say disrespectful things. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, why do you like these players? Do you like them because of YouTube content, or do you like them actually because of their gameplay? That's two different things. So I think that the Fnatic fans that definitely take this with a grain of salt. This is a rumor still, but it could be true because, let's be honest here, 100 Thieves and Fnatic did not finish the LCS and LEC 2021 spring splits the way they intended to. Fnatic finishing 5th after having like, well, so the last bad finish they had was when they had Kikis and Spirit on their roster all the way back in like 2016, where they were like, you know, knocked out of Worlds, knocked out of playoffs, and you guys know the story there. So 100 Thieves, if they do get Nisky, I think they would be a better team. But to be fair, I don't know if Nisky completely fixes all their issues. Is he an upgrade over Ryoma and Diamante? Yes, he is. And he is really good friends with Closer, so you already have that inbuilt synergy. But just because players are friends doesn't mean they'll actually have good synergy. Look at when Fnatic tried to bring over Nemesis and Selfmade. They didn't have good synergy at all. They actually had pretty terrible synergy. They actually had anti-synergy. Selfmade actively played away from Nemesis if you actually watch the games. So, I personally think, you know, after this upcoming LEC 2020, fucking hell. So, in my own personal opinion, I actually personally think that after the LEC 2021 summer split, and if Fnatic go to Worlds, and let's be honest, they're not going to win Worlds. They're probably going to get like top 8, top 4, like they usually do. I don't think they'll ever go to a World Finals again, but I think they'll do an entire restructure around their roster. Also, I want to say this. Upset played really well throughout the entire LEC 2021 spring split. He was absolutely amazing. I personally think he was the second best AD carry to Reckless, actually. You know, I even had him in my LEC 2021 spring split all-pro second team, actually. I thought Selfmade and Upset played really well. Hylissang and Bwipo are just, their style, I think, just gets easily figured out because they're always going to fight. They need a different direction. And don't tell me EU doesn't have good players. Fuck that noise. EU has some good players, so they definitely can rebuild with some good players. I think it's better after this upcoming LEC 2021 summer split just to do a complete restructure. I keep Upset, and I just kind of do away with the rest of the players, though. Fnatic has proven they can bring in good players and develop them, so that's not an issue. So that's what I personally think. Now, talking about 100 Thieves. So 100 Thieves having Someday, Closer, what was it, Ryoma, Diamante, fucking Huhi, and FBI. Overall, I don't think Someday was as bad as we saw in that final best of 5 that team played up against TSM. Closer definitely had an off split. Will he continue to have this, you know, downward trajectory coming into the LCS 2021 summer split? I don't know yet. I haven't seen him play after that best of 5 with TSM. The bot lane is really good. I still think Huhi and FBI are a fantastic bot lane for what they show for 100 Thieves. Adding in Nisky could be that X factor that they need, where Nisky could enable Closer to play really well. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I have to say for Fnatic and Fnatic and obviously 100 Thieves so far. They both need an upgrade in their mid lane, but I don't think Nisky was the core problem. I personally think it's macro decisions. Their Baron timers are terrible. They always just fight. You know the playstyle this team has. You know when they're going to do stuff. They're just super predictable. Even in drafting phase, they're super predictable. So they got to get away from this like super predictable playstyle, and they need a different approach to the game. 100 Thieves is all over the place. There's not one real issue to identify here. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. See you later. Deuces.